Good day and welcome. You're watching Sint Maarten NEWSDESK, where we bring you the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond. With your anchor crew, Alston Lawrence, Glenda York, Tiziana Hart, and Mizzy with the Sunshine Report. This broadcast is brought to you by TV15 and proudly produced by Great Bay Media Studios in Philipsburg, Sint Maarten. And now, let's jump straight into today's top headlines.
Chief Carl John attends regional training conference as KPSM expands youth engagement. Police Chief Carl John represented the police force of Sint Maarten at the annual regional training conference held in Curacao on January 28th, 29th, where police forces, justice partners, and training institutes from across the Caribbean came together to strengthen regional law enforcement training and professional development. The two-day conference focused on building a sustainable and coordinated education system for police officers, emphasizing long-term planning, shared standards, and regional cooperation. Key discussions addressed basic police training for new recruits, ongoing integrated professional training for active officers, instructor development, accreditation, and innovation. Several proposals. Recusal motion halts Jasmine trial against Christophe Emmanuel and co-defendants. Proceedings in the high-profile Jasmine corruption case were abruptly halted on Wednesday after defense attorney Jaido Bloom formally requested the recusal of the presiding judge. The case involves former VROMI minister Christophe Emmanuel and 4 co-defendants, including Marisha Richardson and Jeffrey Bremer. The recusal request followed the judge's decision not to admit newly submitted defense documents, which prosecutors argued contained sensitive personal information about government officials unrelated to the case. The prosecution claimed the material may have been obtained unlawfully and indicated a possible criminal investigation. Attorney Bloom strongly objected, stating that the documents constitute exculpatory evidence and that the court has an obligation to review such material before ruling on admissibility. He argued that rejecting the evidence without examination creates the appearance of bias and undermines the defendant's right to a fair trial. After submitting the written recusal motion, Bloom and his clients exited the courtroom, effectively suspending further proceedings. Bloom stressed that 4 injured in serious traffic accident on Causeway. The police force of Sint Maarten is investigating a serious traffic accident that left 4 people injured on the Causeway on Wednesday afternoon, February 4th. The incident occurred just before 2 p.m., shortly after vehicles exited the Causeway Bridge on the Union roadside in the Causeway area. Central Police Dispatch received multiple emergency calls reporting the collision, prompting an immediate response from police patrols, traffic officers, and emergency medical services. According to initial information, 4 individuals sustained injuries as a result of the crash. 1 male victim suffered a head injury accompanied by bleeding and was transported by ambulance to the Sint Maarten Medical Center for further treatment. The conditions of the other injured individuals were not immediately disclosed. Officers from the traffic department secured the scene and began an investigation to determine the cause of the accident. At this stage, the circumstances leading up to the collision remain unclear. KPSM is urging all motorists to exercise caution, particularly on high traffic routes such as the Causeway, and reminds road users that safe and attentive driving is essential to preventing serious accidents. Further updates will be provided as the investigation continues.
Hello my people, My name is Glenda York of Sit, Sip and Chat and Moms in Paradise podcast. You can find us on TV15 Sint Maarten, TVC St. Kitts, and on YouTube. Reporting from Great Bay Media Studios in Sint Maarten, your NEWSDESK feature story is coming up. But first, here is Mizzy with the Sunshine Report.
Hey there, it's Mizzy with a Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, Sint Maarten, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us.
At Tellem, we believe connection goes beyond signals. It's about people. From every call, every laugh,
Hi, Merry Christmas. Thanks for calling.
every moment shared across our island,
Game time.
we're reminded this network was built by Sint Maarten for Sint Maarten.
I couldn't. Oh, I got you. Don't worry, man. We're good.
When are you coming to St. Maarten?
All right, let's go. Go.
Here's to staying connected to what matters most. Your connection, your Christmas.
Stay connected to the best of local and Caribbean content anywhere, anytime with the TVC Plus app, the official app of TVC Channel 40. With the TVC Plus app, you can watch TVC Channel 40 live, catch every episode of your favorite shows on demand, watch exclusive pay-per-view content, listen to Voice of the Caribbean radio, and watch and read SKN Newsline. The TVC Plus app is available on all your devices. On the Google Play Store, search TVC and the plus sign. In the Apple App Store, type the words TVC Plus. And we're also available on the Amazon App Store for Fire TV and Fire Stick devices. Search the words TVC Plus. Download today and take TVC Channel 40 wherever you go.
All right, don't miss NEWSDESK. Weekdays at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. on TVC. St. Kitts to the world, now streaming everywhere. Breast Cancer Support Group launches first 2026 session. The St. Maarten Breast Cancer Support Group officially kicked off its first monthly support session for 2026, bringing together survivors, advocates, and community partners for an empowering and informative start to the year. The session was hosted in collaboration with the Still Beautiful Foundation, the Positive Foundation, and the Electrolytes Foundation. The first guest speaker of the year was the Honorable Minister of Public Health, Social Development and Labor, Vocational S. Brugh, who attended alongside members of his team, including Head of the Labor Department, Selby Phillip, and Public Health Policy Advisor, Nikita Nichols. Together, they presented an overview of the Ministry of VSR's work and highlighted services available to individuals and families, with a strong focus on public health and cancer awareness. The presentation sparked active discussion, with participants asking questions on topics such as labor matters, insurance, public health services, the new hospital, and the ministry's role in breast cancer prevention and care. Special emphasis was placed on early screening, the importance of prevention before diagnosis, and breast cancer's place within the National Action Plan 2021 to 2030. Minister Brugh underscored the value of open dialogue within the community, noting that these conversations help shape better policies and stronger health initiatives. Participants expressed appreciation for the minister's engagement and the interactive nature of the session. The meeting concluded with a token of appreciation presented to the minister and his team. The Breast Cancer Support Group meets every last Thursday of the month at the R4CR/4C Foundation office on 80 Illich Road. VROMI bids farewell to Housing Foundation Chair Kimberly Meyers. The Ministry of Public Housing, Spatial Planning, Environment and Infrastructure, VROMI, formally bid farewell to Chair of the Supervisory Board of the Sint Maarten Housing Foundation, Kimberly Meyers, during a special meeting held on February 4th. The meeting, convened by Minister Patrice Gums together with the VROMI Cabinet and Secretary General, also served as a strategic working session focused on strengthening collaboration between government and the Housing Foundation to better address Sint Maarten's housing and social development needs. Ms. Meyers' mandate as chair came to an end after just over a year in the role. During the discussions, emphasis was placed on aligning government policy with the foundation's work to ensure housing solutions are not only structural but also socially responsive. With the new year, we are focusing more strategically on social development, Meyers noted, highlighting the importance of coordinated planning to build stronger communities, not just homes. Minister Gums praised Meyers for her leadership during a challenging period, noting that she helped professionalize the board and strengthen its functionality, while fostering a productive working relationship between the foundation and government. VROMI expressed sincere appreciation for her contributions and wished her continued success as the Housing Foundation moves forward with a renewed focus on partnership, community impact, and sustainable housing development. Marvio Cooks honored with Rotary Outstanding Vocational Service Award. The Rotary Club of St. Maarten Sunrise has presented its Outstanding Vocational Service Award to Marvio Cooks, recognizing his professional excellence and meaningful contributions to youth development and community service. The award, presented during Rotary's Vocational Service Month, highlights individuals who demonstrate dedication not only in their careers, but also in service beyond the workplace. Mr. Cook serves as a policy advisor at the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport and played a key role in securing Microsoft recognition for public schools. This led to the successful rollout of Microsoft Office 365 across the public education system, strengthening digital learning and access for students and educators. Beyond his professional role, Cook is a strong advocate for e-learning, esports, and youth basketball development. He regularly supports schools and community organizations by moderating and presenting at events focused on information technology and sports. He also contributes to Rotary's From Bots to Bosses initiative, educating high school students on how artificial intelligence is shaping modern business and leadership. The Rotary Club of St. Maarten Sunrise congratulated Marvio Cooks on his well-earned honor and thanked him for his continued commitment to empowering youth and strengthening the community.
When we come back, we go to our in-depth feature of the day, exploring one of the island's most thought-provoking topics. That's just ahead. Stay tuned.
all talk about having rights. And yeah, we do.
We have the right to be safe.
The right to learn and get an education.
The right to speak up and be heard.
The right to dream big and build our future.
But listen, rights don't stand alone.
We also have responsibilities.
Real talk, if we want respect, we gotta give respect too.
St. Maarten is our home.
So let's protect it. Keep our beaches clean, our streets clean, and show love to nature.
Healthy island, healthy future.
Our parents and guardians do a lot for us.
Let's show respect, talk to them, and listen, even when it's hard.
School prepares us for life.
So we show up, we stay focused, and we put in effort.
We want opportunities, so we work for them.
We are part of this community, every village, every culture, every neighborhood.
Let's be kind, positive, and supportive.
A stronger community starts with us.
And most importantly, we are responsible for ourselves.
We make healthy choices for our mind and body.
We believe in our goals and our voice and our future.
Our rights gives us power, our responsibilities makes us leaders. Together we rise.
The Convention of the Rights of the Child isn't just a policy, it's protection and responsibility. When our children learn their rights, they are better prepared to take on their responsibility. This public service announcement is brought to you by the Department of Youth.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every laugh, every adventure. #1 provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to roll. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them is there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to road.
Is in the air and it's about to spread like wildfire when Freedom Fighters Foundation proudly presents the 27th annual Bob Marley Tribute Concert, Friday, February 6th at the Soggy Dollar Bar in Simpson Bay, featuring live performance by St. Martin's finest artists, featuring Percy Rankin, Essence, Timo, Lady Rubia, Pooja, Zoraida, Sigma, Roxy, Toby Hodge, Chantilia, Michael Madewell, and the music of the Freedom Fighters Band. Showtime is 9 p.m. sharp. Admission is $30 in advance, $40 at the door. Tickets available at the Eitel Shack on the Bush Road and from members of the Freedom Fighters Foundation. Don't miss the 27th anniversary of the Bob Marley Tribute Concert, February 6th at the Soggy Dollar Bar in Simpson Bay at 9 p.m.
Like I never did before.
Welcome back. Each day we take a moment to go beyond the headlines and look deeper into the issues, people, and conversations shaping life here on St. Maarten. Welcome to today's News Desk feature.
Day 3 of the Strategic Economic Stakeholder Consultation Workshop marked a noticeable shift in tone as discussions moved beyond broad ambitions and into candid, data-driven conversations about how St. Maarten's policies truly connect or fail to connect across sectors. Held at the Bel Air Community Center, the session brought together government officials, policy advisors, and stakeholders to examine economic development through a combined economic, social, labor, and tourism lens. What emerged was a shared recognition that the island's biggest challenges are not isolated problems, but interconnected pressures that demand coordinated solutions. Senior Policy Advisor Jessica Rogers opened the morning by challenging participants to rethink how policy is approached. She noted that St. Maarten does not suffer from a shortage of ideas, strategies, or initiatives. Instead, progress is often slowed by fragmentation, where ministries and sectors operate in silos rather than in alignment. Rogers emphasized that policy modernization is no longer optional. From energy strategy and transportation frameworks to investment diversification and infrastructure planning, she argued that decisions in one area inevitably shape outcomes in others. Traffic congestion, housing strain, and carrying capacity challenges, she said, cannot be addressed through isolated fixes, but require synchronized national planning. The message was reinforced through a social development perspective delivered by Acting Head of Social Development, Sherilyn Bryson, who traced St. Maarten's evolution from the early 1900s to today. Her presentation highlighted how decades of tourism growth, migration, and external shocks have reshaped the island's social fabric. Bryson reminded participants that while development has created opportunity, it has also produced long-term social pressures, including rising costs of living, housing shortages, aging demographics, and changing health needs. Economic growth, she stressed, always leaves a social footprint, and ignoring that reality weakens policy outcomes. The most direct and unfiltered contribution came from Division Head of Labor Affairs and Social Services, Peggy Ann Dross, who addressed labor market realities head on. She pointed out that while labor data is widely available, the real challenge lies in how it is interpreted and enforced. Peggy Ann Dross spoke openly about recurring policy cycles where familiar terms like resilience and collaboration are repeated without producing measurable change. She highlighted cases where work permits were denied due to qualified local candidates being available, yet recruitment practices continued to favor foreign hires. A contradiction she described as one of St. Maarten's most pressing labor dilemmas. Despite different approaches, all speakers delivered a consistent message. St. Maarten's policies must move together, or progress will remain uneven. That same theme carried into earlier panel discussions focused on tourism development, where industry leaders stressed that success cannot be measured by arrival numbers alone. Participants emphasized that a thriving destination begins with a high quality of life for residents, effective mobility, public safety, and environmental resilience. The inclusion of small and locally owned properties in these discussions was also highlighted as a meaningful step toward more inclusive policymaking, ensuring that tourism strategies reflect on-the-ground realities and community needs. As the workshop continues, the conversation suggests a growing willingness to confront difficult truths. The challenge now is moving from alignment in dialogue to alignment in action and ensuring that policies designed on paper translate into tangible improvements across the island. The crossroads are clear. The path forward will depend on whether this moment of honest reflection becomes a sustained national shift.
Before we wrap up, we take a moment each day to check in with our neighbors across the region. There's always a story worth paying attention to. Here's today's regional headline.
Here's the weekly wrap-up from Golden Rock, St. Eustatius. Police on St. Eustatius continue multiple investigations this week, alongside positive community development highlighting the island's cultural heritage. On Tuesday, February 3rd, officers conducting a search in connection with the ongoing investigation discovered suspected narcotics at a residence on Weg naar Heems. During the search, several packages containing suspected drugs were found on a man and inside the home. All suspected narcotics were confiscated and the investigation remained ongoing. Earlier, on Sunday night, February 1st, around 10:15 p.m., police arrested a 69-year-old man identified by the initials FAVS on John E. Meyers Road for driving under the influence of alcohol. The suspect had been involved in a collision with another vehicle and left the scene. Police later located both the vehicle and the driver. A breathalyzer test confirmed alcohol impairment and the man's driver's license was confiscated. Beyond law enforcement matters, the recent holiday season also brought a meaningful community initiative to a close. Seniors across Asia were honored through Heritage in the Making, a year-long community-centered creative project led by Eustatius Innovations. The initiative brought together elders, local creatives, and regional partners to capture stories, lived experiences, and shared hopes for the island's future. Through guided storytelling sessions, focus groups, and creative workshops, seniors reflected on themes such as culture, education, vitality, banking, and infrastructure. Their narratives were transformed into written stories and visual artworks, later compiled into a printed publication, serving as a lasting cultural archive. Project lead Adriana Brandau and her team emphasized that the initiative ensured seniors' voices were heard, preserved, and shared with future generations, honoring those who helped build Statia while shaping conversations about its future.
That's all the time we have for today's edition of Sint Maarten News Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday at 8 a.m. on TV15 and across all our social media platforms. From all of us here at News Desk, we wish you a fantastic week ahead. Until next time, stay friendly, Sint Maarten.